At 6:45 a.m. on September 29, 1982, 12-year-old Mary Kellerman of Elk Grove Village, Illinois, swallowed a single extra-strength Tylenol capsule for a sore throat by 7:30 a.m. She was dead. Hours later, in a different suburb of Chicago, a 27-year-old postal worker named Adam Janis collapsed in his home. At the hospital, doctors could not explain why a healthy man had suddenly gone into cardiac arrest. His cause of death was labeled a mystery. His family gathered to grieve inside the Janis home. Two relatives, Stanley and Teresa, went into the bathroom, opened the same Tylenol bottle Adam had used earlier that day, and each swallowed 2 capsules to calm their stress and headaches. Within minutes, both of them collapsed by nightfall. 3 members of the same family were dead, and no one knew why. Over the next 48 hours, the frantic calls kept coming. More victims. No pattern. No connections. Until a single, horrifying thread emerged. All of them had taken extra-strength Tylenol. This is the story of one of the most shocking unsolved mass murders in American history. A crime that triggered nationwide fear, changed consumer safety forever, and remains unsolved more than 4 decades later. This is the investigation into the Tylenol murders, the crime that shook the nation. On the morning of September 29th, emergency rooms across the Chicago area began reporting sudden deaths with the same symptoms: rapid collapse, slowed heartbeat, respiratory failure, and seizures. Doctors were baffled. There was no common illness, no shared location, no suspicious lifestyle factor. The turning point came when investigators noticed that each victim had taken Tylenol shortly before collapsing, a brand trusted by nearly every American household. Authorities immediately retrieved the remaining capsules from the homes of the victims. Inside each one, they found potassium cyanide, a fast-acting, deadly poison that kills within minutes by suffocating the body at the cellular level. Analysis showed that each capsule contained enough cyanide to kill thousands of people. Someone had tampered with the bottles. Someone had turned an everyday pain reliever into a silent weapon. The Tylenol murders claimed 7 confirmed victims. 1. Mary Kellerman, age 12, a young girl with a simple sore throat. She took 1 capsule. It was enough to end her life in under an hour. 2. Adam Janis, age 27, a hardworking postal worker, recently married. He collapsed moments after taking Tylenol for chest pains. 3. Stanley Janis, age 25, Adam's younger brother, struck moments after taking Tylenol from the same bottle. 4. Teresa Janis, age 19, Stanley's wife, also poisoned from the same bottle inside the family home. 5. Mary Lynn Reiner, age 27, a new mother who recently gave birth. She collapsed soon after taking Tylenol for postpartum pain. 6. Paula Prince, age 35, a flight attendant who bought a bottle of Tylenol at a Walgreens just hours before the product recall. A now infamous photograph shows her at the checkout counter, unaware that the bottle inside her shopping bag was already laced with cyanide. 7. Mary McFarland, age 31, a hardworking retail employee who took Tylenol to calm a headache during her shift. She never made it back to the sales floor. Every victim was an ordinary person dealing with ordinary pain. None had any personal connection. They were chosen at random, and that made the crime even more terrifying. The moment the cyanide connection was confirmed, authorities faced a decision that no one had ever confronted on such a scale. Was this an isolated act, or were thousands of Tylenol bottles poisoned? The public panic was immediate. Helicopters hovered above Chicago delivering breaking news. Police cars used loudspeakers to warn neighborhoods. Hospitals prepared for mass casualties. Within 24 hours, the manufacturer, Johnson & Johnson, issued an emergency recall of 31 million bottles of Tylenol, nationwide at a value of over $100 million. People were urged to throw away any Tylenol they owned. Stores cleared their shelves. Parents emptied medicine cabinets in fear. For many Americans, It was the first time they realized a horrific truth. A stranger could poison a product inside a store, and absolutely anyone could be the next victim. First, investigators suspected a manufacturing defect. Maybe a worker inside the factory had tampered with the capsules. Maybe someone contaminated the supply chain during production. But this theory collapsed almost immediately. Analysis of the tampered bottles revealed something shocking. Each poisoned bottle came from different manufacturing plants and different production lots, shipped to different stores across the Chicago area. The poisoning did not happen in a factory. It happened after the product reached the stores, or even after it reached the homes of the victims. This pointed to a far more sinister scenario. Someone was physically taking Tylenol bottles off store shelves, opening them, adding cyanide, and placing them back, without anyone noticing. A killer moving freely through everyday life. A killer hiding in plain sight. Over the years, two primary suspects emerged. But the truth is, neither was ever proven guilty. Suspect 1. James William Lewis, perhaps the most infamous name associated with the case. Just days after the murders, Johnson & Johnson received a typed letter from an unknown writer who claimed responsibility for the poisonings. He demanded $1 million to stop the killing. The letter included details that suggested the writer had knowledge of the crimes, or at least wanted to appear as if he did. The FBI traced the letter to James William Lewis, a man with a criminal past involving fraud and extortion. Lewis denied being the Tylenol killer. He claimed the letter was simply an attempt to appear helpful and draw attention to another person he believed was guilty. Investigators, however, found troubling behavior. He had detailed knowledge of cyanide. He had attempted extortion before. He matched the profile of someone who might enjoy manipulating a national crisis. Lewis was eventually convicted, but not for murder. He was sentenced to 20 years for extortion, not for poisoning. To this day, there is no physical evidence linking him to the bottles. Authorities could never place him near any of the stores. The case against him was suggestive, but never conclusive. Suspect 2. Unabomber connection. Some investigators explored whether the Tylenol killer might be connected to Theodore Kaczynski, the Unabomber, due to his history of random targeted violence and his presence in the Midwest during the period, his ideological hatred of industry and technology. However, no direct evidence ever surfaced. Kaczynski himself denied involvement. This theory remains little more than speculation. Other suspects. A number of additional suspects were examined. Disgruntled Johnson & Johnson employees, pharmacists, pranksters, copycats, unstable individuals with no clear motive. None produced credible evidence. The truth was maddeningly elusive. Cyanide poisoning is not subtle. It is not slow. It is not a method used to target a specific individual. This was not a revenge killing, not an insurance fraud, not a targeted assassination. It was an act of pure, chaotic terror. So why do it? Investigators proposed 3 potential motives. 1. Extortion. James Lewis's letter demanded $1 million, but did he actually poison the bottles, or just try to exploit the tragedy? Even today, opinions are split. 2. Psychological thrill. Some profilers believe the killer sought a feeling of total power, the ability to randomly kill strangers with a household product they trusted. Someone who wanted to watch the world panic. 3. A personal grudge against the company. Less likely, but possible. Someone angry at the manufacturer or its success, targeting Tylenol to destroy its reputation. Whatever the motive, one thing was clear. This was not a person who cared about being caught. This was someone who wanted to send a message, and they succeeded. The Tylenol murders reshaped modern consumer safety. 1. Tamper-evident packaging. Before 1982, over-the-counter medications had no seals, no shrink wraps, no foil barriers. You could open a package, close it again, and no one would know. After the murders, U.S. law mandated tamper-evident packaging for all medications. The foil seal, the plastic wrap, and the child-proof cap design that we all know today. Point 2. Capsule reform. Capsules were replaced with solid caplets. harder to tamper with silently without detection. Point 3. The Tylenol crisis as a business case study. Johnson & Johnson's rapid response, recall, refunds, public warnings, saved the brand's reputation. Their handling of the crisis is still studied in business schools. Point 4. New federal laws. The U.S. government created the Anti-Tampering Act, making product tampering a federal crime with severe penalties. The ripple effect reached every industry: food, cosmetics, medicines, and packaged goods. Point 1. Single killer changed how the entire world shops. For all the fear, the panic, the investigations, the new laws, and the endless speculation, the central mystery remains. Who poisoned the Tylenol? The killer has never been identified. No one was ever charged with murder. No solid theory has ever achieved consensus. Every few years, investigators revisit the case files with new technology. They retest documents for fingerprints, re-examine old DNA samples, search for new witnesses, but the truth stays silent. The Tylenol killer may be dead today. They may be alive. They may have watched the panic unfold on national television, satisfied with the fear they created. And because they were never caught, they may have kept the secret with them to the grave. The most chilling part? The killer didn't need explosives, guns, or elaborate plans, just a handful of capsules and a few minutes alone in a store aisle. The Tylenol murders were not just an attack on 7 innocent people. They were an attack on trust itself. Trust in everyday products, trust in public safety, trust in the small rituals of daily life. To this day, families remember the victims. Investigators still hope for a breakthrough. And Americans still feel a quiet shiver when they peel open a safety seal on a bottle of medicine. Because the question still lingers, unanswered: who poisoned the Tylenol, and why did they do it? Until the killer is identified, the story remains one of the most haunting mysteries in American crime history. A reminder of how fragile safety can be and how one act of evil can change a nation forever.